Janice Joplin with Mercedes-Benz. You're listening to KRIM 96.3 FM. Chris Higgins in the studio on this fine, snowy morning. Hope you're enjoying all that white stuff. Well, we have a special treat this morning. If you're listening on the radio, know that you can be watching on our Facebook radio live stream. We have the Longhorn girls basketball team in the studio. Not the entire team, but let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 7 of them, and Coach Chaz Davis. And we're going to be talking about their incredible season, thrilling state playoff run, and being the state runners-up, which is amazing, making it further than any other girls basketball program in the history of the Longhorns. So thank you so much for coming on this morning, girls. Again, Coach Davis in the studio. Thank you for setting this up and bringing the girls in.
Yeah, thanks for having us. They deserve some limelight for sure.
Oh, definitely. And at the table, we're going to start with the seniors. Hannah Sarnowski. Good morning, Hannah.
Good morning.
And Alondra Ramirez. Good morning.
Good morning.
What are they? Your nickname though, because not
Lonnie.
Lonnie. Lonnie. There we go. Is it okay to call you that?
Yes.
There you go, Lonnie. And it is Miley Redford. I have to think about it. All the names in my head. Also, just started softball, so I have all the softball names in my head now too. So I'm like, It gets harder as you get older with the names. But yeah, incredible senior season. Is this something that you expected, Miley, or thought that you would get to the state championship game this year?
This year, I fully expected us to get this far.
Yeah, now even after the beginning of the season, because I remember going back and some injuries. So I think the first game, wasn't it the first home game at least, where Clara Whaley, another senior, she got injured, right?
Yeah, she hurt her ankle.
Yeah, and only out maybe a game or two?
Yeah, thank goodness it wasn't that long.
Yeah, but then also, Lonnie, you got injured as well and were out a little bit longer.
I was gone forever.
Yeah, for how many, like almost half the season or over half the season?
It was a lot. Yeah.
Big chunk.
Big chunk.
So did you still, I mean, after seeing those injuries, what did you think, Miley?
I feel like there was definitely a little bit more doubt, but I don't know. I knew Lonnie, I've played sports with her and Clara for my whole life, and I know how tough and strong they are. Clara just pops right back up. Lonnie scared me a little more because I've never seen anything like that bad happen to her. But Coach came in the locker room that game at halftime and was she said she's gonna be okay, everything will be fine, and I knew that she'd be able to play through it, do it for our team.
Yeah, and also in those early games, because you guys finished with a 17-2 record, I think the best record also that a girls basketball team has ever had.
That's right.
And even with some injuries and things, happening in the year, a big part of that was the younger players, and we're going to talk to them, juniors and a sophomore, but them really stepping up and coming in to fill in those spots.
Yeah, losing Lonnie there for a chunk was kind of a little bit of a shock to everybody. People don't know this because Lonnie doesn't put out crazy numbers. She's not having, 25-point nights, but one of the biggest stats that we look at as a coaching staff is the kids' plus or minus, which means how effective or how much we win with certain kids on the court. And Lonnie all year was our highest plus or minus player.
Wow.
And probably averaged our 10th most points or something like that, but she's the person that kind of kept the engine running a little bit. So it was a little bit of a shock at first, but then we had Tatum McDowell and Jay and Cheyenne and Kendall Hatch that came in, and we felt like they didn't miss a beat. But they came in, and Kendall Hatch became a force for us on the glass. Tatum came in and was an energizer bunny all year for us. Every time it felt like we didn't start games off very well, Tatum would come in and get us going a little bit. So the younger girls stepped up and kind of filled that void until we gave Lonnie enough time to come back at enough of a percentage where she could be effective again.
Yeah, and then also, Energizer Bunny, that's perfect for Tatum. That's really good. And then Cheyenne coming in, and who gets to shine late, but you're just to be the smallest one on the team, right? Just the shortest one. But coming in and draining threes.
Not scared
Just
of
like,
nothing.
ice in the veins. Just hitting 3-pointers. And that had to be big because, Lonnie, you're probably one of the top 3-point shooters.
Mhm.
And to lose that, but then others stepping up, like Miley stepping in there, Clara, great 3-point shooter, and then Hannah, your 3-point percentage has to be probably pretty insane because it seemed like,
When she shot him, she hit him.
yeah, I know, yeah, there weren't a lot that were put up, but
I think that's what was so cool about this team is whoever was in, they could care less about their points and their whatever. It was like, how can I help impact the team and help us win? From Hannah all the way down to Shy and Lydia Burnett and everybody that was on the roster. I mean, Bailey Klein, all those young girls, when they got their minutes, it was like less about, oh, I'm in the varsity game, and more about how can I help us win. And so that was special with this group.
yeah, talking about helping the team win, a big part of that is assists. And that was another milestone this season was, Hannah, you setting the school assist record. So how did that feel?
It felt pretty cool, but like I know I couldn't have done it without them for sure. Like it was all them. I mean, every shot they hit mattered. So.
Yeah, that's important with assists because you can throw the ball to people
Yeah.
and if they don't,
They don't make it, yeah, no.
if they don't make it or they just turn it over, it doesn't count. So yeah, the shots being made is a big part of that. Was that something that I guess was on the radar like at the beginning of the season? Did you know, hey, I'm pretty close to this?
I actually had no idea.
You had no idea?
No, sir.
That's pretty good.
Well, and I'll jump in because I think she doesn't even fully know this, I don't think yet, but she set the single game assist record, the single season assist record, and she now has the most assists in Payson High School history in a career. So
Oh my
she
gosh.
has every major assist record, so yes, her teammates had to make some shots, but she made it pretty easy for them a lot of times. So it's pretty incredible. I think 336 total career assists,
Wow.
which is just crazy.
Wow.
But-
So I've been thinking of this question because you also play soccer. Is it easier to pass a soccer ball or a basketball?
I'd say basketball. I feel like I have 2 left feet when I play soccer.
How about you, Maya? You play soccer too.
Yeah.
How about you? What do you think, soccer ball or basketball?
I'm a goalie, so I get to like pass it with my hand.
Oh, never mind. No, it doesn't count then. I didn't know. Okay, no. I was thinking about it because, you know, soccer field, there's more room maybe for error,
Yeah.
margin for error because it's bigger, where basketball, and that pass, it's tough. You know, it has to be pretty accurate or else stolen, not going to make it, go out of bounds, whatever. So yeah, that was great to see. Also a home game that happened at home. So that was like perfect. I don't think you couldn't have written that better.
Yeah.
It was really exciting. So seniors, want to ask, what was your favorite part about this season, Hannah?
I'd probably have to say our comeback from Chinley. I felt
Yeah.
like that environment was super electric, and it was great to do with them. So.
How did it feel playing in front of, what did they say, the attendance? It had to be like 5,000-6,000 or more?
So they set the record last year for 8,200,
Uh-huh.
and the AIA officials thought it was about the same this year. So
Wow, a few more than in the Wilson Dome.
yeah,
Just a few. So what did that feel like, Lonnie, just being in front of all the
I
people?
think-
And-
Oh,
oh no, I was gonna say, most of them like cheering for Chinley.
Yeah, I think it was the coolest thing. But we had talked in the locker room before. We were like, it doesn't matter who's there and who's cheering for who. Just gaslight yourself, and they're cheering for you. And then Kendall Hatch was like, turn those boos into
woos.
woos. So that whole time we were just
Turn those boos into woos.
Yeah.
Kind of like turn that frown upside down or
Yeah.
whatever, but turn those boos into woos.
yeah.
Man, she's gonna be like a psychiatrist. Kendall. She gets in your head. She's like, no, don't listen to them. They're cheering for you. That's funny. It had to feel cool though, quieting the crowd because they were loud. And then, you know, you girls would get a stop on defense and they would just get quiet. And the defense chance would start. You'd score, they'd get quiet. Did you hear that on the court, Miley?
Not gonna lie, I did not notice the noise or how many people were there at all. I was just like so focused on the game and like being on the court, like I wouldn't look in the stands. I'd just like, if I needed to look over, I'd look over at coach, like,
Yeah.
see what he had to say. I wouldn't look up around, like I didn't even notice that there were that many people in there.
Wow, and that comeback, so down 17 at half, I think 34-17, the halftime score. You go into halftime, what did you say in the locker room, Coach? Can you say it on the radio? Can you say it? If not, that's okay, we'll move on.
So the cool thing about this group of kids is, for some reason, we had to make it interesting. Every game that we've ever played, going back into summer, and so it's a situation that we've been in a lot. And our message kind of became, with our style of play all season, dating back into summer stuff, was like eventually there's going to be a big window because they're going to get kind of tired, and our style of play is going to wear some people out. There's going to be a big window, and we just got to take advantage of our window. And that thing opened up, and they went nuts there for about 8 minutes. I think we got down 21 with about 9 minutes left to go in the game.
Yeah.
And then they just went nuts. And I was sitting there going, yeah, it's about time. Like glad that they're back, you know. And but as a coaching staff, we were talking afterwards. It never truly felt like we were out of the ball game, just because we've seen thousands of times in them in practice where it's like all of a sudden they'll run off a 25-0 run or something like that against the, you know, a second group or in other games. So once the first one got going, you know, would turn to my assistant coach and go, okay, here we go. And then it was just chip by chip and chip. And the defensive part, I think we saw a lot of the shots, but I think we held Chinle to like 4 points there in the last 10 minutes of the game, which was incredible. So.
Yeah, that was crazy. So, yeah, because coming out of halftime, it wasn't a case where Chinle came out flat. They came out and they extended the lead from 17 to 21. So they were still balling. They were playing hard. It seemed like going to that full court press, that kind of changed things. You're nodding your head, Lonnie, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you notice that on the court?
I think our key factor was Clara Whaley. I think we put her in that top of that press, she starts getting going, and then it helps us start getting that rhythm.
Yeah.
And once we get going, we get going.
Yeah, the word that comes to mind with Clara on defense is disruptor. She is disrupting. Yeah, is that pretty accurate, Miley? Yeah, like hands everywhere, arms everywhere, legs everywhere. It's like she's just like all over going crazy. And then you got some really good speed on defense as well. And it was wild to me because you wouldn't expect a reservation team to not be able to handle the press like that. But they just, wow.
Well, and that's kind of the rule of thumb. Everyone will tell you, don't speed up the reservation. Don't make it a full court tempo game, because they're going to win that one a lot. And I think that's how we decided we were going to play 3 years ago. And so we talked a lot at halftime of just like, you're built for these kind of games. This is our style of play, and this is what it's going to take to beat these kind of teams. But I think they're absolutely right. Clara Whaley, when she gets going, man, it just explodes our whole team. You know, once everyone sees Clara knock down a shot, I think she made a little runner to cut it to like 19. And then after that, it was like, oh, we're going to get a steal, and then we're going to get another one, and then another one. And so she's our spark plug defensively. I think she's got the best hands I think we saw in the entire conference this year. But and then it was kind of fun as, you know, Miley Redford shooting her shot in the left corner, and then Lonnie shooting some of her shots at the top of the key, and it just felt like after that we couldn't miss. So.
Yeah, that was a big one. Down by 1. You get the ball top of the key. Not real close to the three-point line. I mean, back a little bit. And it seemed like there wasn't any hesitation. You knew you were shooting it?
Well, a great pass from Hannah is always a good shot. But after I hit a couple, it didn't seem like they wanted to guard me at all. And I was like, this is Lonnie range, so I shot it.
Lonnie range. Yeah, they weren't getting out on the shooters. It seemed like they were just really off, like they were taken out of their game. That press, the comeback, you guys coming back, the energy, it just seemed to be like a Space Jam. Like Space Jam, where, you know, they became like the, you know, NBA players that couldn't play or whatever. And but yeah, it was crazy. And then you just kept pressing and pressing. So yeah, down by 1, you hit the 3-pointer. So then you go up by 2. And then there's that foul, right? And then their player, the younger Yazi, I think it was, hit 2 3-pointers. The older one tried to get on the foul line.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, this one right here, number 11. And she gets on there, hits the 2 foul shots. And so then it's clutch time, 27 seconds, I think, left in the game. And Hannah, take us through like the last 27 seconds. Did you feel like you were going to take that shot?
Not really. I was comfortable with anyone taking that shot. I don't think it was really like I needed to take the shot. It was just there's a couple seconds left, and like I knew I had to get a shot up, and then Grace was gonna get the rebound if I missed. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you actually gave the ball up, passed it, and then got it back. And were you like, hey, wait a second, what's going on?
I was kind of aware where like the clock was at, and I was like, I know we need to get a shot up right now, so we have a chance to rebound and put it back up. So.
Yeah, that's one thing that, and it was cool listening to the people, the other radio announcers, the AIA officials, different people talking about that game afterwards. First, everyone was stunned. They're like, what just happened? Wait, what did we just witness? What did we see? And then they were saying, that was amazing, the court presence, the awareness that you had, but everyone really at the end, but to know how much time to take that shot, just the control, of the court, which that isn't like, you don't see that all the time, do you?
Well, I'll have to say, because she's too humble to say it.
Yeah.
We had lost a couple games this season because we just didn't execute some stuff late in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So we had several practices where it was like 10 seconds left. Who gets the ball? What exactly are we going to be running? And that is get the ball in Hannah's hands and let her go make a play, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we had, as a coaching staff, as her teammates, were like, get Hannah the ball, let her go do her thing. And so she's a little too humble to say that, but I will tell you, everybody in the gym knew who that ball was going to go to, right? It had to go to Hannah. I mean, she made such big plays for us that entire fourth quarter. I think she scored or assisted on like 90% of our scoring in that fourth quarter run, which was nuts. And as soon as she got the ball the second time, I'm like, if you give that thing up, she's mine.
Yeah, no. And someone pointed out to me, I forget who I was talking to, but they were watching like video and everything, and they saw you, Miley, and you were in the corner. You're ready. So if she got, she couldn't get the shot off, and she saw you, you were ready there, and that's where you could tell.
Shot 1,000 times.
Yeah, you could tell the preparation. That the preparation and the effort was there. And that's what I saw throughout the season. You could tell that you girls have all worked so hard. You worked so hard in the off season, really working hard to get to that place, to be prepared and ready for those situations. And it really showed on the court.
And I'll have to just give one shout out. She's not here with us today because she's in nursing class, but the Dijon White from Chinle is kind of universally known as one of the best kids in the 3A, the big for Chinle. Grace wasn't phenomenal the entire game against her. Defensively, she was so big for us all year, but if we don't have Grace in that game playing defense and rebounding, I think we could all say we would have been in a different ball game late for sure.
And that was number 50, right? Their center? Yeah, I don't know, what did
She finished with 27. And that was it 27? Maybe that was the game before.
Yeah, I think the game before, because I think in your game.
She had 25,
and
but
that's
8 of them came.
That was Yazi, yeah. So
10 points. Which is
10
huge.
points.
And she's one of the best players in the entire small school. And Grace.
Wow.
Grace kind of showed and proved how good she was defensively in that game.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome. But she did that all year for us. I mean, we weren't super surprised. I mean, Grace was that. I mean, she would guard the best guard. She would guard the best big. I mean, that's what Grace did for us all year. So she needs a little credit there.
No, so very cool. And that's so the 5 seniors, the 3 that are here, and then Clara Whaley and Grace DeSchaff. So you guys moving on, but wow, what an incredible final season of basketball. Yeah, so exciting, and incredible job. You guys did awesome. So, hey, if you just are tuning in or just started watching on our Facebook page, talking with the girls basketball team, state runner-ups, and we're going to get the seniors to move over and let the underclassmen come in. Thank you, girls. I know Tatum. Wow. Whose turn was it to watch Tatum?
She got nervous.
Yeah, I know. And you can pull that up, Cheyenne. There you go. And you can come in too. Yeah, come on, Maddie. We'll save that chair right there for Tatum. All right. So Jabri Begane,
Yeah.
right? And Maddie Redford and Cheyenne McClellan. All right. And Cheyenne, you're a sophomore. Right, and then 2 juniors, and then Tatum, a junior as well. So, wow, sophomore, and you got some like serious time this year. How did it feel, like when you first came in that first game when Clara went down? And I think you went to Cheyenne, put her in. Were you really nervous?
To be honest, not really. I know I like played with the same team like all summer, and I didn't feel like I was like any like different.
No, just felt like a summer ball.
Yeah.
And that's how you looked at it, and it was like, no big deal. Just go in there. So, hey, Tatum, here you go. All right. So, your 3-point shot, you're like, you don't hesitate. You've been working on that for a while, I would imagine. Shooting a 3?
Yeah.
Yeah? No, and in fact, like a few of you in Tatum, the same thing, 3-point shot. So, you've been working on shooting that for a while?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have.
yeah, and I know, but what do you enjoy more, defense or offense?
I don't know. It kind of depends on the game, cause like, I don't know.
You don't know?
I like both of them so much.
Yeah? You have to pick one.
Oh, probably defense.
Defense?
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
sure about that? Tatum had the highest two games that we had all season. Tatum was the highest point total.
Really?
Per game twice this year. I think 25 and I can't remember, 21 I think maybe was the other one.
Wow.
So, yeah, she's a firecracker on offense.
I think I remember the one, yeah, who was that? It was the one where you guys were up by quite a bit, and you put in some of the other players. They played like almost, well, a lot of the second quarter, even in the third, fourth quarter. I remember, yeah, Tatum kind of just, yeah, going to town.
Santin? I can't remember. She's had a bunch of games where she's, 15, 16 points coming off the bench, which is huge, especially with Lonnie being out for some time and some of those. Tatum came in and kind of filled a scoring void for us. Shy came in situations that she had a bunch of 13, 14 point games too, because how she was shooting from the perimeter. So I think they all stepped in and scored. Jay had a couple big 10, 12 point games. So they all came in and had some really nice scoring games. So it's exciting for what we're going to look like offensively, I think, in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is. And how does it feel, I mean, being part of the team, as making it to the state championship game, runner-up? I mean, does that make you hungry for next year, Jabri? I mean, is it like real motivating for you now?
Yeah, for sure. I think like we can go far next year, and I'm really excited for next season.
Mm-hmm. So it starts, summertime, huh? So what do you guys do over the summer? Like, what does it look like? You said you played the summer ball in Cheyenne, so what does your summer look like, this upcoming one?
We are always in the gym like every single day, and the only off day we have is Sundays, and we go to a lot of tournaments and like summer games during the week,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just really fun to like, it's like learning like what to do in certain situations.
Mm-hmm. And that makes a big difference, doesn't it, come like a regular season?
Definitely.
Yeah. And Maddie, so injured this year?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so what happened? What was the
I
injury?
tore my meniscus in my knee.
Oh, when
Yeah.
did that happen in another sport or
Yeah,
playing
so
basketball?
it like kind of started in soccer and it was like hurting, but I was like, I really want to play this season, so like
like it'll be fine. And then I played like 2 or 3 games, and then it just got to the point where it was like hurting really bad. So I went and got an MRI, and it was torn. Yeah.
So does it look like you'll be able to play this summer or next season?
So I'll be good for this summer and all next season, which I'm super excited about.
Nice. That must have been, oh my gosh. So I'll be watching this and like wanting to be in there so bad.
Yeah, it was definitely super hard. Took like definitely mental toll and a physical toll, but like it was super fun being part of the journey for sure.
Mm-hmm. What with injuries or when there's things that happen like that, bad things that happen, you hopefully learn from it. So what do you think like you've taken away from it, or something, a positive that has come out of it?
Probably just like play every game like it's your last game. Like leave everything out on the court. Don't have any regrets.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of, all of you really. I was going to say like Miley, that's kind of how she's playing out there. But the entire team is just kind of like, oh my gosh, pedal to the metal, just like 100% go. Is that something, it's always been like that with these girls, Coach, or?
That's a good question. I think we understood that in order to play championship level ball, it's got to be a championship level effort, and I think the kids bought into that aspect. We've talked a lot about like we can show you how to play the game and all this stuff, but if your effort's not there, then it's going to be hard for you to be successful. And so from our leadership all the way down, and I give a lot of credit to Miley Redford for that, of just like the attitude and the energy and the fight that it takes to be really successful. That's just trickled down into everybody in our program. Even down and through our freshman sophomore group, they play hard. That group of girls played really hard this year and had a good season. And I think they've learned from the older kids all the way down if that's what it looks like, to play hard.
And what is this? I mean, this is going to be inspiring. Look at the girls, the middle school team.
Isn't that awesome?
Are they still in Tucson, or they were heading to Tucson?
I think they're in the Final Four of their middle school league in Peoria. They went in as a really low seed in the middle school bracket, and they had 2 monster upsets, and are in the Final Four now. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, look at that.
We got to see them sit courtside at the some of the home playoff games, and they're just all decked out and excited and stuff. And so, I mean, they're really good kids in their own right. But I think the older group definitely is inspired. Our group, everybody is inspiring the next generation and the next generation. And my little baby, 2.5-year-old, she's getting ready for it. But
running around the court already.
They did, man. They inspired a lot of people in town, I think.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think about that at all, Tatum? Being that example, setting that example?
Yeah, like the past few years, like I remember being a freshman and going to the varsity games and just like being like, oh, I wish I could be like them. And then like now being able to do that, it just like, it feels so nice, like knowing that I can make a difference with other people.
That's really cool. And just what you said, the work ethic, the mentality, I think, is like no days off. Like if you want to be that championship level team, you really don't take days off. You're going all the time. You're working, you're putting in, as much time, effort as you can, knowing that it's going to pay off come game time. It just can't be, we're going to give it our all during games.
Right.
Because you won't be at that championship level.
Yeah, and I think along with the work ethic, I think everybody had to see, this is my role, how can I star in my role? I mean, Jay Bree was phenomenal in moments where it was like, we just need you to go harass someone for 4 minutes. And she would come in, and that's not a fun job, right?
Yeah.
She would come in and she would be a star in that. Like, we needed Shy to come in and make some shots.
Mm-hmm.
She would come in and be a star in that. Tatum to be an Energizer Bunny and just run the floor, knowing that half the time you're probably not going to get the ball, but just run the floor so we can keep things open. And so I think all of them were like, how can I be really, really good in my role and get really good at what my role is?
Yeah.
Then obviously you get into summer and roles change and you develop and all this stuff, but it was so cool for like a player like Shy or Jay to be like, you know what, this is what I can offer right now. I'm going to get so good at it that whenever my name's called, I'm ready.
Yeah.
And especially, it's hard for, I try to think of myself as a 16-year-old. Could I have done that? Probably not. I mean, it takes a lot of humility to be like, I'm going to just be really good at whatever I can to help the team.
No,
It's impressive. That's what impressed me the most by this group of kids, for
yeah.
sure.
I love the way you describe that, Jaber. Get in there and harass them. So get in there and just, and make it difficult for them. That, I don't know, it kind of sounds fun. Was it a little fun to do that?
It's fun.
It is fun. See, she enjoys it.
It takes a special mindset. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough.
The other thing I noticed, Tato, was you don't mind going down low, mixing it up a little bit. You got some rebounds, and offensive rebounds, putbacks, driving to the basket. So you don't shy away from that, do you?
I try not to.
I try not to. Can you out-rebound your brothers, you think?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't know. I think you got a good shot at out-rebounding. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, though?
I don't know.
Not both at the same time.
Oh yeah, definitely
no.
not.
No.
I don't know.
I think we should test that.
I think, I don't know,
It'd be
because,
fun, actually.
because that was also something, I know I loved being at the games, and you started to see more people coming to watch the games and talking to, some of the people and saying, yeah, man, you gotta watch these girls. They're just like phenomenal. After the game, they're like, whoa, that was, really good. And it's just cool to see that reaction to girls sports, girls basketball. And again, it's a testimony to all the effort, the work, and just the level that you were playing at, that they were playing at.
Yeah, I think we told everybody after that Holbrook win that was a community win.
Ooh.
Because Greg Perkins at Holbrook is one of the best coaches I've ever been around.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually gave a really good comment to our community. He was like, I couldn't call a play. I couldn't get my kids to know what we were trying to do because it was so loud in there and it was so
Wow.
much energy. I think they went like 4 for 14 from the free throw line, which is so unrealistic of a Holbrook team.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a credit to all the people that came out. I mean, I don't know if we win that game if we don't have that kind of a crowd.
And was that the game you guys were down 6 where they had, or was that Sabino? That was Sabino. Where
Felt like all of
it felt like all of them. It was Sabino, where Sabino had that run at the end of the third quarter.
Yeah.
And they went up by like 6 points. And I remember just being in the stands and thinking, what the heck, come on, because they had like 8 players, but I think, they had the 4 like really good players and the one that, she was talented. But they go up by 6. It was just like all of a sudden, like a buzzsaw, like they just rattled off all these points. But then fourth quarter comes, you guys down by 6, and 2 3-pointers in a row. Boom, boom, tie game. And then just from there, it was like, oh boy, the floodgates opened.
We like to use the analogy from Fast and Furious when Paul Walker uses his turbo boost a little too fast and Dominic Toretto goes, too early rookie, and they hit their turbo boost. He hits his to win the race. So that was kind of the message at the timeout is, hey, they went too early. We're fine, and we're going to, use your turbo.
Have the entire fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So,
There's a lot of basketball to be played in the 32-minute game for sure.
Yeah, well, and how quickly, like you said, the window, when that window opens, how quickly the score can change, how quick you can come back, and it can just totally, flip-flop.
Yeah.
So, really cool. Well, excited for next season, Cheyenne?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do it again.
There you go. And Maddie, you must be real excited
Yeah.
because hopefully, everything is good. Back on the court next season,
Yep.
playing.
Super ready.
There we go. That's good. And Jabri, what is the thing that you're going to, yourself, that you are going to focus on this summer? What are you going to work on your game?
I think definitely working on my offensive side because I think I'm pretty good defensively,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to get better offensively and
Mhm.
just going in the gym when coach is not in the gym and having Joe take me and shooting on the shooting machine and
Mhm.
that's definitely gonna help.
Nice. How about you, Tate?
Can you say the question again?
What are you going to be working on this summer? And you play summer ball?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. And what are you going to be focusing on?
Just like, I'll probably just focus on ways to like help the whole team out, cause like being a senior next year, like it's gonna be weird, and like there's no Hannah to like make plays or like Lonnie or Miley, so I'm just gonna try and do my best to like be like them and be able to help our team.
There you go. And somebody, Cheyenne, you remind me a little bit of Hannah. Bringing the ball up, her head is always up. Like when you're dribbling, is that something that you've really worked on, or it comes easy for you?
I've just, like, ever since I was in, like, first grade, I've always had a ball in my hands.
Oh yeah?
So it's kind of like, just what it's a second nature almost.
Yeah, but I've noticed that, like when she comes in and bringing the ball up, heads up, looking down court, you know, seeing if
What
anyone's
was
open.
really cool is we saw early on in the season that wherever Hannah walked, Shy walked. Whenever they needed to go to the bathroom, wherever, it was like they were just following each other, or Shy was following Hannah, which, you know, we were like, yes, great.
Yeah.
Follow her around, so.
So Shadow,
great
your nickname was Shadow. No, that's awesome. Well, that's so cool. Thank you so much for coming on this morning, girls, and thank you for, boy, an exciting season. It was so much fun to watch, to broadcast the games, and yeah, it was just incredible. So, and looking forward to next year.
Yeah.
There you go. So thank you everyone for watching, tuning in this morning, and again, if you have never been out to a girls basketball game or basketball game in the Dome, you need to get out there. Come on out, cheer on our young athletes, just incredible young people in our community, and they appreciate all the support that we give them. So,
Thanks, Chris.
all right, thank you guys. And again, thank you everyone for tuning in this morning. And hopefully the snow will continue because, boy, do we need it. Well, here we go. Getting back to the music, have some Billy Joel, Queen, and more. But first, let's hear from a few of our amazing sponsors here on KRIM. All right.
She's a broadcasting.